Hi there, friends. Rebecca here, the Dragon Librarian from Farmington Community Library, and Arloth and I are here today to talk to you about a book that we absolutely love, and a segment that I would like to call another edition of I started reading this library book and loved it so much I had to buy my own copy. It's been happening a lot lately. I've read a couple really fantastic books, one right after the other, that have just been absolutely phenomenal. So this is another of one of those where I was about a quarter of the way through the library book. I fell in love with it so hard, I immediately had to order my own copy. So what is this book? It is Unlikely Animals by Annie Hartnett. Now, I was very interested in reading this book because I read this author's previous work, which was called Rabbit Cake, which was very good. I liked it a lot. But I wasn't expecting to be blown away by it like I was with this one. Because like I said, I liked her previous work. It was really good. If you haven't read Rabbit Cake, that is a really great one. Maybe I should probably do a segment on that eventually. So what is this book about and why did I love it so much? This book has so much heart. It is such a feel-good story, even though there are some really dark things that happen in it. So this book features this young woman named Emma who has kind of lost her way. She was going to medical school. She dropped out. She just realized that that wasn't what she wanted to do. She used to have this power when she was younger to be able to cure minor illnesses and ailments with her hands. She had these magic healing hands. She's lost that ability. She realizes that she doesn't want to go to med school. She doesn't know what she wants to do. So she's come home to New Hampshire to spend some time with her family. Her mother is very judgmental, very harsh woman. Her father is extremely eccentric, was a college professor who was forced to retire because he's got a brain illness that is slowly killing him. So Emma has this guilt that she's lost her healing power because she wanted to be able to try to help her dad, even though that kind of a big illness wouldn't be something she would be able to heal, even if she still had her ability, but she still feels guilty nonetheless. So she comes home to her little town in Rhode Island. One really cute thing in this book is that there is a map of the town, which I generally love maps in fantasy books. And sometimes when they're in contemporary stories like this, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. But it's really fantastic because this town is just as quirky as the characters are. So another thing that is going on is her brother is a recovering drug addict. Her town in general, and there is an author's note at the end of this book that talks a little bit about this issue, but her town in general is really suffering from opioid addiction. There are a lot of people in the town addicted to opioids. There are a lot of people that have perished from it. One of her best friends was doing drugs. And that's the other thing. When she gets home, she finds out that her best friend from childhood has gone missing. And nobody seems to care. The cops and everybody just kind of think that, oh, she was doing drugs. She probably disappeared somewhere or dead or whatever. The only one that really seems to care about her being missing is now Emma and her dad. Her dad is trying to help her track her friend down. So this story is so multi-layered, right? It's got a lot of different things. It's got, dealing with illness and grief with a parent. It's dealing with opioid and drug addictions. It's dealing with basically even just losing your way and not knowing what you want to do with your life. But there are so many other quirky, amazing aspects to this book. So one of the things that her dad, Clive, has going on as a side effect from his brain illness is that he hallucinates things. So he sees all these random animals sometimes. And the reason why he was asked to leave his professor job was because he thought that the room was suddenly filled with cats, and he started yelling at the students, "Get these cats out of here. Why are there cats in here?" He keeps seeing this ghost of this dead naturalist. He ends up spending an exorbitant amount of money to have a pet fox shipped from Russia. Like, there's just all these crazy things that the dad is doing. But my favorite thing about this book is that it is narrated by ghosts. Stay with me on that. So this book is actually narrated by the citizens of the town that are still in the graveyard, the ghosts, as they are just kind of like watching everything go on. They're rooting for all these people. They're rooting for Emma. They're rooting for Clive. They're just, involved in these people's lives. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I can't believe that that this author is gonna pull this off, and she did. It's just fantastic. So I know I mentioned there's a lot of dark things going on in this book, but that doesn't take away the fact that it's also hilarious. This book is so funny. The antics of Emma's father, Clive, even just watching Emma try to make sense of her life now that she's back home and trying to track her friend down is just incredible. There's so much whimsy. There's so much joy in this book despite all the sad things going on. And I think that's what I really loved about it the most, was that despite the sometimes really difficult topics that it delved into, ultimately this book is about hope and positivity and joy. And if you are looking for a book that is going to make you feel so good, give this one a shot, because it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Unlikely Animals by Annie Hartnett. Well, that's what we've got for you today. I hope that this book sounds as amazing as I found it to be. If so, please check it out from Farmington Community Library, and also please give this video a like. Thank you so much for watching, my friends, and have a wonderful rest of the day.